This is the RK84. I recently did a couple videos on it. I did create a 5-minute typing test for it, alongside the build log video where I disassembled it on camera, put it in all the mods, did all the stuff, and put it back together, and then did a comparison with different tests. Now, the only reason why I actually created the sort of comparison with other keyboards at the end of the segment there is because I actually replicated what I did in my old Vermilla Pro video where I first put U4s to the test. And U4s, of course, were a massive hit. I genuinely love that keyboard, I still have it, but the only reason why I'm not using it is because they have been antiquated. The Boba U4s, different from the standard U4s, got rid of something that the original U4s had. Because of the housings that these Boba U4s have, the Boba housings actually eliminate the majority of, if not all of the leaf squeak, because old Silent Tactiles and U4s had a problem with their bottom housings where the stem would rub up against the leaf and it would make this weird sort of clink squeak noise even if you lubed it. So of course, Gazoo sought out to remedy this, and as a result, he fixed it. So these switches are, in my opinion, the golden standard for how silent switches should be. If your switches aren't as silent as these, you must either have a really good catch to it, or you failed. And I will not change my mind on that because I have dug my heels in as a Gazoo fanboy, but even then, the fanboyism isn't without its merit. But today's video isn't about me trying to suck off Gazoo and his products. The topic of today comes from the sort of distance comparison as to how loud can your keyboard actually be. Because, as you have known, a lot of people are like, oh man, I can hear Cherry Blues and their clones in the next room, so therefore like I always get reds or browns because they're quiet. Well, the problem is, just because they're not as loud as blues doesn't mean that they're actually not loud in general. So, in today's comparison, I unfortunately cannot use my FIFINE K669. However, I do think that picking up audio with the microphone from a phone is good enough. So, in terms of the keyboards that I'll be comparing today, I'll be having a quick key keyboard, a linear keyboard, and a tactile keyboard, along with a silent keyboard. And I'm going to move not to the right, where unfortunately it's just my closet and my PC, but rather to the left, ow, where I can actually simulate, I wonder what it sounds like in the other room. So, with differing distances, I'm going to be putting the tripod that I actually bought for only $11, great deal. I'm going to be putting it inside the bathroom, and of course outside the bathroom, perhaps just to simulate perhaps someone is sleeping behind you, or perhaps they are taking a shit, or they are trying to work in the other room. Of course, I'll be censoring my face because you can only see my face on Twitch and if I stream, but otherwise I hope this video will put into perspective as to how loud your keyboard can actually be. Of course, do note that microphones differ from product to product. This iPhone SE 2020 could have a shittier or better microphone than yours, and I hope that people take this sound test with a grain of salt because of course I can't speak for everyone. But I do hope this provides a sort of general information bomb as to how loud or perhaps quiet your keyboards may or may not be. So with that said, let's get to the typing tests. Test number 1. Around 2 feet away, right next to me. Let's see how well this sound picks up. Hey dude, what are you doing? I'm trying to tell someone on Twitter they're retarded. Oh, okay, cool. I got canceled. Y'all gonna play some games over here. Sounds good, man. I hope my keyboard isn't so bad. I died. Wake you up? Sorry. I'll switch keyboards. Alright, so I hope that was an indicative, sort of rough guesstimate as to how loud your keyboard actually sounds at different distances. I covered a pretty fair amount. One right next to my desk at around 2 feet, then went into the door frame of my bathroom, perhaps I'd say 7 feet away, and then we have all the way to the end of the bathroom over there, around I'd say 12, 15 feet, and then all the way over there to that chair in the distance over there, I'd say definitely around 20 feet or so. So, I think it'll be good enough to kind of gauge how loud your keyboard will be, but of course, you can always ask someone, hey, can you hear this? And this video would be completely antiquated. But until then, if you don't want to ask someone that, or you are completely sociably inept, then I suppose this video will help you out. Because trust me, I've been there. Alright, anyway. Later.